welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Season 9, Episode 13.
That last scene was crazy, man. Like, we couldn't end on no good note, right, Blair?
Exactly.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Let's go.
All right. So Sunni walks into the Bachelorette party right after the argument between Nell and Trish.
Mm-hmm.
Then Nell arrives. The ladies are going to do some body paint on the models' bodies.
Yeah.
And Mel decides to leave early. Nell made a joke about Destiny and Sunni sharing a snake, and Tisha is asking Sunni how she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Sunni says that Destiny doesn't want you talking to her friend, I guess because Destiny had a little bit of an attitude, and she wants Destiny to stop talking about her and her husband. And Destiny says, you bring your relationship onto a platform that I'm associated with. And Nell asks Destiny, haven't you moved on? And Destiny says that she's been moved on. Sunni says, so then how can we get you to stop talking about it? Destiny is going to talk about what she wants to. She is not making up lies about people, talking about people's paternity. Apparently, Sunni put up a post talking about the paternity of her child and why she really got a divorce, and it's between 3 possibilities. And Destiny says, you focus on your man enough, he wouldn't be in jail. And she tells her happy anniversary in jail. Destiny steps out to cool down. Tisha goes out there just to try to console her, but Destiny's like, look, I blocked both of them, but they end up in Huntsville. That is crazy. And she meant what she said when she wanted to dog walk Sunni.
I mean, she got up in Tisha's face like I meant it. I'm like, well, what do you want me to say? What is your thoughts on the scene, Blair?
Number one, I'm annoyed that Mel keeps leaving places early.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. You just shouldn't be there,
yeah,
honestly. I understand that she wants to show face, to show her friend that I'm here to support. But honestly, like how Nell said, I'm always there and I spend my time and enjoy my time at all of Mel's events. But for my events, she has to hurry up and get ghosts.
Yeah.
So as a friend, I understand if Mel's in certain difficult situations or positions, but if you're really there to support your friend, then be there to support your friend fully.
Well, you already know what that is. She feels like her presence is a present. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I grace you with my presence. Now I'm leaving, so it's like, yeah, it gets old after a while.
Yeah. And then with the Destiny and Sunni thing, honestly, Destiny, it is very strange for these people that you kind of, was done with and try to move on from, end up on the same show as you and move out to Huntsville, and the man apparently not even supposed to be in Huntsville and he's in jail. I mean, it is craziness.
It is a little wild.
It is craziness. And I don't blame Destiny for speaking on the craziness, but after a while, at least in the show sense, it does kind of get repetitive.
Yes.
And I think that Destiny can absolutely feel how she feels about them people, because that was very weird. But for the show's sake, I mean, Sunni's here. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about this every time she comes. We're going to fight every time she comes. What's the next way we're going to handle this? So,
yeah. And I want to ask you this question to see if your perspective would change a little bit, Blair. I think the key part in that whole scene was Nell saying, I thought you was over it.
Yeah.
Knowing that she's dating Lance. So knowing that she's dating Lance, knowing that, hey, the mom of the boyfriend of who I'm talking to and things of that nature, trying to get to know, trying to get the date, is right here in front of me. Does it make sense to have this type of blow up in front of her about another guy this passionately, that you got to walk out knowing that, hey, I'm dating your son?
I don't put too much sauce on that, honestly. I don't. And the reason I don't is because they're dating. They're not in a relationship. So when you're dating, you can date multiple people. And when you're dating, you can still have stuff or issues from your past that bother you. Yeah. And if the girl is constantly parading in your face, and Sunni was talking to Tisha about the situation in Destiny's hearing range. Yeah. And not talking to Destiny directly. That's true. So I'm just I can see how that would get someone irritated, because, all right, you here, but keep it cute. But Sunni had stuff to say, even though Destiny hadn't even talked to her yet. Yeah. So I'm just I get what you're saying, but honestly, it's not that big a deal to me.
To me, it's a big factor, because if that was my son, I say, hey, don't date that girl.
I would say the same thing.
Because she ain't over. That's too much drama over there. Her mind is still on this other guy. She keeps walking out and things of that nature. Mind you, Destiny, you already won. The guy, I mean, not trying to parade anybody going to jail, but they got their own issues in their own marriage. You get what I'm saying? The same way as she got her own issues in her own marriage. Talk about Destiny, her last marriage, right? Meanwhile, you're trying to move on and date my son. If I was Chris or Nell, I don't want to see you crashing out or about to crash out about a guy in your past while you're currently dating my son. I'm going to tell my son that girl Destiny ain't good for you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's the day of the vow renewal, their 30th wedding anniversary.
It looks very, very, very beautiful.
It does. Nell twisted her ankle, so she's hobbling today.
Oh my gosh.
She tells Lance to handle where Martell's going to sit and make sure that he's separate from Mel, and Lance says that he will handle it.
Nice.
Nell enjoyed her Bachelorette, and the daughters are wondering why Destiny is worried about Sunni and Moses when she's supposed to be dating Lance.
Come on.
Nell says that she is worried. She was more so worried about how Nell invited Sunni, and she doesn't want Sunni around her friend group.
Okay.
So Chris comes into the dressing suite, gives her a wrap for her ankle, and we'll kind of pause it there.
Okay.
And let me try to explain my piece a little bit better.
Okay.
I think that Destiny is fair to have whatever reaction she has to Sunni and Moses because it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Now, if I am the sister of Lance or the parent of Lance, then I will say, this girl is really still bothered by the situation, like you said, and I would probably tell him, I don't know if y'all need to talk about her or maybe she's not over it, but I don't know how serious dating y'all trying to be when she's acting this way. So even though she's allowed to respond how she wants because it's crazy, I still, as a family member or friend to Lance, I would probably be like, yeah, still steer clear of that situation because it's a lot. It's a lot.
I agree 100% because here's the thing. I'm not trying to negate or trying to neglect or even trying to dismiss Destiny's hurt, right? But my thing about it is this season has been split into 2 seasons, and we've been hearing this has been her story the whole time, right? We know where Moses is, or at least was during this time of filming, right? You made it out okay. I understand some type of betrayal. Sunni was like a sister to you or like at least a friend to you, and there's some type of betrayal. But I would think that you are looking to better things, brighter days, and things of that nature. If that includes Lance, I would think like, hey, like how many crash outs are? My thing is, how many crash outs are we gonna have about this guy? You've been crashing out this whole season, feeling some type of way. Now you outside talking about you about to dog walk this girl, and I'm just like, that's a lot of emotions that I kind of don't want to deal with, you know? So,
but Sunni is a little bit disrespectful too.
Sunni's very disrespectful, but at the end of the day, guess what? Sunni, you here by yourself and you got to go back by yourself because your man in jail. I ain't got nothing, like she could be as disrespectful as she want. Her reality is her husband's in jail. So it's like, I don't have to address you because at that point, I would think that Destiny would see it as I got the last laugh, but she don't see it that way, you know. But you know, it's not for me to say.
So we're sitting down at the ceremony, and the guys are talking about how they enjoyed the bachelor party. There were strippers there. Kimmy tells Maurice and Martell that the ladies got into it at their party. Yeah. Martell is more interested in hearing about Melody and Trisha's argument, and Kimmy just says it's interesting you want to hear about that, but just the way they spoke with each other, they're not cool, pretty much.
Yeah, but Kimmy, you knew that. Yeah.
So Mel walks in, and Martell cannot keep his eyes off of her.
Oh, boy.
Then Marsau and Tisha arrive. Mel sees that the Scotts and Martell are sitting together when they literally just had this big blow up, and she thinks they're just faking it.
Yeah.
Martell wants to get married, but he's still kind of comparing women to Mel. Yeah. He feels like he has to wait another 5 years to know that it's like officially over, and it's tough for him. Martell and Mel don't speak, and it bothers him. He thought that they would have been in the place to have a vow renewal after being together for so many years.
Oh my gosh. Martell knows how to play for the camera, and the thing about when I say play for the camera, he's only playing himself. Yeah. No one believes him. No. You get what I'm saying? And the fact that he can get on camera and talk about, I did not see this for my marriage, when he was the only one.
He was the reason for
he was the main character in this whole scandal. So it's like, what do you mean you didn't see? What did you think was going to happen? Because my thing is this. I can understand, and when I say understand, I don't agree. But I can understand the logic. I can understand if you got caught cheating and your wife forgives you, right? You're like, woo, okay. I thought I was about to ruin my marriage. She forgave me. Let me stop. You get what I'm saying? But he did not do that. He did not do that at all. This wasn't a one time he got caught cheating, one time he had a baby and things of that nature, and then Mel ended the marriage. Mel gave him a lot of rope. Mel gave him a lot of grace. So for him to say that he did not see this coming, that just means like you just really didn't respect her and then expect her to actually be like, you know what, enough is enough. One time you did it, 2 times you did it, 3 times you did it, you had a baby the first time, it didn't come through. Now you actually had the baby.
You got the same girl pregnant.
Exactly. So it's like, I could understand if this was a one time you cheated and then it ended, but you've been cheating. There's like, it's almost like, I know this is going to be like left field. It's almost like people who are into like street life and like drug dealing, right? It's like, oh no, I'm not going to end up in jail or dead. It's like, yes, you are. Like this is the path of cheaters. You end up divorced.
Yeah.
This is the path of people who do bad things. You end up in jail. So it's like, for him to say that he had no, like he didn't see this coming. I'm like, you kept cheating. Yeah. There was only one path to this way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only other thing I want to add, I mean, Martell, stop looking at her. Stop being weird.
Yeah, weirdo.
You ruined your marriage and you guys aren't together and you talking about how you're still comparing women to her and all this type of stuff. I mean, nobody feels bad for you. So, you know, whatever. And then when it comes to Mel, when you're talking about how everybody's sitting together and how they be faking and all this type of stuff, do you expect them to act like you and just not talk to each other? Like, what actually do you expect them to do if everybody's just being fake? Like, could they possibly be fake? Sure. Could they possibly just be having a coworker type relationship? We're all here, and so we got to communicate. We got to be around each other. That's totally different. But with Mel, she does set herself apart from everybody, and I think that's totally fine. But I think that if you're not going to be part of the cast, then I don't see her. I don't see why she wants to be part of the show, period.
Yeah, true. So, dude, like, you have an issue with how Marsau spoke to Martell? Like, basically just said, what's up?
No, because, I mean, what's he going to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He could have just not spoken to him, which would have been cool to me. But he was going to greet his brother, so he was sitting right there. So if he said, hey, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not with it. Yeah. Because now I have to, and I don't want to say defend my wife, because my wife is not, I think we take that, like, that is something that we use a little bit too much, because my wife is not under attack. She's not in danger. So I don't want to say I wouldn't have spoke because I'm defending my wife, but we got to stand for something though. Like we was at the park and he started bad talking my wife in front of me.
You're absolutely right. I don't know why I answered the way I did. There's no reason for Marceau to speak to Martell.
So I'm not saying that, I'm not doing it because I need to defend my wife. She's not in danger. But at the same time, like, I got to stand on something. And the fact is that you disrespected my wife. I could take you disrespecting me. And if I want to get over that in the sense of I'm going to be, just nice for people because we at the wedding, that's one thing. But you drug my wife into it. So now I got to stand on something, and I'm not going to speak to you. I'm not going to be in the confessionals. I'm not going to be up in your face saying I'm better than you at life and then saying, what's up, bro? Nah. No. I'm sitting right next to Melody. You get what I'm saying?
So we see the ceremony, and Nell got a new ring.
Nice ring.
7.5 carat ring, and Tisha is telling Nell that you are my mentor, and Chris, you can mentor Marceau too.
Oh my goodness!
And Nell appreciated hearing that.
Tisha. Why you got poke fun for? She felt some type of way when Melly said, you're not my mentor. She was like, listen here, you can be my mentor. But I thought it was funny, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, so Destiny feels that Mel put herself on an island, and she is constantly ostracizing herself from the group.
Well, how come you ain't go over there and speak to her then?
Well, she can't talk to Mel. They're not cool.
But my whole thing is, like, I understand they're not cool, but we at the wedding. So my thing is, hey, she is separating herself from the group. I can see
Mel ignoring Destiny.
That is true. I ain't gonna hold you. And knowing Destiny is funny.
Yeah.
But why did Melly show up then? And the problem that
she's there to support now, which I get, but it's just kind of like
it's not real support because she's about to leave.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you're here to support, then support, right? But don't make it seem like, and I understand, and because I'm about to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. So like I understand what I'm about to say.
Two things can be true at once.
Not what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Right. I don't want to speak about Mel as if she is the problem in these relationships, right? The fact that she's sitting at the table, Martell grabs the chair, bring it over to their table. I understand, like I don't want to be around this guy while this guy's currently coming at me. He's over here in the confessional telling us that he wished that him and Mel was in a better place while he's currently doing things to her. You know what I'm saying? Crimes, allegedly, and things of that nature, right? Things that he's been convicted for. And while at the same time, she just planned this whole getaway that was 4 or 5 episodes and things of that nature, and then there's a whole big blow up, and now we was at the Bachelorette party and there was a blow up there. So it just feels like Melody should not be at these places, while at the same time I don't think she's the only cause of these problems. So I'm like, if she's not the only cause of these problems, I feel like there shouldn't be no issue with someone coming up to her and just say, hey Mel, what's up? I feel like the only one that really can't speak to her is Martell. Maybe Destiny, because she's linked to Martell. But everybody else, you don't have to leave her by herself, like basically like walking around alone. Even when Marsau and Tisha got there, even though Marsau said it jokingly, he spoke to Melody. Kimmy could have went over there and spoke to Melody and things like that based on what we seen. Now, if she did, she did. But I'm just going off of what we saw on the video and things of that nature. Because Kimmy, you had no problem being mad at Melody when it came to your husband, but then you was having lunch with her in her house when you was basically passing gossip around. So how come you can't speak to her or be around her at the wedding? So it's like, I understand that Melody shouldn't be there because she has a problem with everybody, while at the same time, these problems takes more than one to tango. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Trish says that she does have an issue with Mel now, and Ken had a family emergency, so he couldn't come.
Trish, you wanted to have a problem with Mel. You could have really chose not to have a problem with Mel, honestly.
Yeah. So Lance greets the ladies after he first walked, past them.
Yeah.
But Destiny tells him, your son is cute, and he gets that from you. And Lance says, apparently you think a lot of people are cute. He ends up walking away, and he tells Destiny, we'll talk about it later. And all the ladies feel like, okay, what's up with Lance? He's got a little bit of attitude. Apparently, Destiny was making googly eyes with a security guard, and Nell told Lance. Destiny said that she's dating, she's not married, and Kimmy was the one who made it more of a big deal because she called it out. And Kimmy's like, well, if y'all are dating, then it shouldn't be a big deal. But apparently, Lance feels a way about it.
Here's the thing about it, right? There's one thing I don't like is a sassy man, right? Don't be passive. It don't look right. And my thing is, I kind of agree with Destiny coming up with like, why are you gonna choose this moment in front of my friends to say something?
Yeah,
like that's weak, and that points me back to, hey, you've been in a marriage that lasted 2 years, I think 2 marriages that only lasted 2 years each of them. Talk about Lance.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man, like you have a way of handling things passively that I see in this moment that if I was Destiny, I would have been like more than a red flag. That would have been a no.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a no. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. The bishop passes out. Paramedics arrive, so we get him some help. Martell says that everywhere else him and Mel speak, but when they get into these group settings, it's difficult because she distances herself and she doesn't speak to him.
Do you believe him? He did
bring his chair over to sit with the cast, but Mel decided to leave. He feels like if she can't meet him halfway, then there will be no healing. What was your question?
Do you believe him?
Do I believe him? Yeah, I mean, I believe she talks to him about the kids. And when she's dropping the kids off, she probably says hello. Or even if she does do that, her mom might be the one to drop the kids off. I think that Martell is delusional. I don't think Mel is trying to be friends with him. I think she even had like an order to where he couldn't contact her a couple of times.
Yeah.
And he basically ignored the order. So I wish he would just leave the lady alone.
Yeah.
You know?
I at first when I was hearing, I was like, maybe it's just high and by. But now I'm starting to think maybe they really don't talk.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a person in the middle that's like, hey, don't contact me. Contact this person about the kids, and then I contact this person about the kids. Be it probably be their mothers or something like that. But I'm starting to think that, especially with this new order that came out months ago, that now he can't have no contact with Melody. So it's like, oh, I think he's definitely been crossing his boundaries for a long time, and it's not as he's trying to paint it as, oh, outside of filming, we be talking, we be chilling and things like that.
Right.
But like whenever the camera's on, she want to distance herself from me. I think you're lying there, buddy.
Yeah. So Destiny and Lance have a one-on-one conversation. She pulled him to the side and she tells him, you tried me in front of the other ladies. If you have an issue with me in the future, just pull me to the side and talk to me. And Lance asks her, did the googly eye situation happen? And Destiny tells him it wasn't serious. She explained what it was. Destiny and Lance have chemistry, but she would like someone who is a little bit more emotionally intelligent.
Well, stop going for these guys then.
Yeah. The thing is with Lance, like, if y'all are dating and y'all aren't really dating that seriously, how do I put it? There's like different stages in dating, right?
Okay.
And you could be in a stage of dating to where things are getting a little bit more serious, to where you're about to try to like close off the relationship. But it just doesn't look like they're there at all.
I don't know where they are.
I don't really know where they are. And then half the time I'm wondering, is this even real or is it just for the show?
Yeah.
And are they just kind of like kicking it? You know what I'm saying? And like, we're cool and we like find each other attractive, but we're not really trying to be together. Like, I don't know how serious this thing is. I understand if Lance was annoyed by it, but I felt like his reaction was a little much.
Yeah,
so.
it kind of gave off young. It kind of gave off you haven't been through nothing. Like, truth be told, you mad about the security guard. You should be talking about Moses because she keep talking about Moses. So that little one security guard who you probably never go see again, I wouldn't have had no issue with. But for basically 2 seasons and 222 episodes, she been crashing out over Moses and Sunni. You get what I'm saying? So like, I would say, even though dating, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're not. It's funny. I'm almost talking like Love Island. I almost say closed off, right?
That's what I did say. I was like, I don't know what the other word is.
Here's the thing. I don't know if they just messing around. I don't know. I think it's more than a situationship. I go that far. I don't think they just messing around. There's obviously something going on that's serious because the sisters know, the mom know. Like Lance is walking her to the car. He is obviously they are each other dates at this wedding. They walked off holding hands. So they are not just two people that just like each other. You get what I'm saying? They are not at the beginning stages. Maybe they're not at the stage to where they like, there's a commitment there. But I think even for the stage that they at, there is at least some type of like, hey, respect me in this like dating process. Let me know what's going on. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, even, I'm not saying Lance is wrong to feel for how he felt. It may have come off as passive. I'm on how he approached it, right? You use that moment, for one, at your mama's vow renewal, and then two, in front of Destiny's friends to try to basically sun her. I'm never in the business of embarrassing women. So it's like, why put her on a spot like that? Because if you want to be her man, you're supposed to be protecting her. And the thing about it is, emotionally intelligent man, maybe you're just not into those type of guys, Destiny, based off of, Moses and now this guy over here who don't know how to just pull you aside and talk privately. Yeah. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that is stuff that don't have to, those things that you shouldn't be teaching at this stage of your life. Those things that he should have, especially with 2 marriages.
Yeah. So Trish and Ken are at the house.
Oh my gosh.
Ken, first he asked her if I can have a conversation with you. So I feel like he was trying to prep her for the conversation they were about to have so she wouldn't be on the defense, is how I took it.
Too late.
Ken says, we haven't been together that long. We still have a lot to learn about each other and things that we need to resolve from the past. In the beginning, you sent a text to Marquez saying that you would take him back in a heartbeat. But when confronted you about it, you said that you didn't remember it. You didn't mean it. And then there's the Martell situation. So Ken is just over the deception and lies.
Yeah.
Trish is tired of having this conversation. She says she doesn't think about those guys, but they live rent-free in their house because Ken always brings them up.
Oh, it's me.
And Ken says, your deception is what causes the issues. It's you. You're the problem. And Trish tells him it's you.
Oh, it's me. Okay.
Ken says, you're talking like I bring up these guys and I'm insecure about it, but his issue is with Trish. If he asks her a question, she takes it as an accusation. Okay. Ken says, with the whole Martell thing, I don't even know why you lied about that because that was before me. You had no reason to lie. And Trish asks, well, then why are you so invested?
What? Because you lied to me.
Ken gets upset. He storms off. He was talking about how he pays for everything. Yeah. And then she tells him to just go ahead ahead and go. And he says, well, when you're struggling, then you need to tell your kids why.
What is your thoughts?
My main thoughts about this is Trish takes no accountability.
Zero.
And she also lies. So this is where I'm just like, Ken, you say you love this woman, but she's playing in your face. And if she can't even cop to the fact that, okay, I did lie, that's something that I'm going to work on, or this is something that I'm going to get better at. Even that, I feel like, why you want to be with a liar anyway? But if she were to take just a little bit of accountability, that's something to work with. Ken, you have nothing to work with. So do you really know when to leave?
Ooh.
Because you have nothing to work with this lady. She's still married. She signed the paperwork, but for some reason she can't turn him into the courthouse because she ain't got time.
She done framed it and everything.
She go to the gym about 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, but she can't make it to the courthouse. So I'm just like, Ken, please pack your belongings and go. Maybe
Ken don't know when to leave. They couldn't even agree on who brought the cars.
Yeah.
He was like, you really gonna sit here and lie about the cars? She was like, no, you did not get the cars. And I'm just like, well, first of all, I'm not going to judge this conversation solely on this conversation alone because you need just a little bit more evidence. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to use the kids as evidence. The kids thought you was already divorced, so I don't know what you told them. That sounds like you're lying to your kids. That sounds like, at least if you're not lying, you're not clear in communication of where you currently are. So when you over here trying to have this heart-to-heart moment that Carlos and like his team is trying to make you have with your kids, the truth came out of, oh, I thought y'all was already divorced. So... okay, so there's already a misunderstanding of communication coming from you. Yeah. Then we get to this conversation to where Ken always said, he told us in the last episode, every time he talks to Tricia, he should be talking to one of his guy friends, that it ends up like this. And now we actually get to see it play out. There's nothing worse than a woman cussing back at me when I ain't cussing you. I'm like, why are you cussing at me for? You get what I'm saying? Now that kind of like you don't know how to talk to people. You get what I'm saying? And now besides me actually trying to get to the issue of whatever issue we arguing about, now I got to do two things. I got to try to get to the issue while at the same time keeping myself calm because this person cussing at me. Yeah. Because this person is just straight up disrespecting me. It gave... I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to end the series or end the season this way. It gave off a lot of Marquez.
It did.
It gave. I know how we like to say Melody and Martell are alike, but because they've been together for such a long time. But there's something too. Hey, you've been with this guy since high school. You must have learned some things, and y'all really like flow with each other and things of that nature because it really was like a conversation. I don't see how you can have that conversation with Ken and not see how Marquez had that conversation with you.
Exactly.
That's because you're not trying to see it. That's because you're not trying to be wrong. And now you over here in real time back months ago where when you was supposed to show up for Carlos on the interview and you said, well, Ken had a family emergency.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's Trisha's go-to because Ken said, oh, that wasn't it. I just didn't want to film with her.
Exactly, because we got an argument. You know what I'm saying? And then now we at the wedding and Ken had a family emergency. You are taking out his cousins and things of that nature. And now we can see why. Because before y'all even had this discussion, y'all wasn't talking or y'all tried to talk and now y'all walking on eggshells and you're just too defensive. And the reason, and I don't understand how someone who is in the right is that defensive. It makes no sense. So Tricia, I think you look phony in the light when it comes to telling the truth. You're lying about things you don't have to lie about. As Ken said, it's like, this was before me. I don't even understand why you had to lie. Yeah. Martell even said that you was lying. Like, I really don't understand, like, the whole thing. Stormi, your friend, was like, I don't even know why you're lying about this. Yeah. So it's like, everybody don't understand why you're doing this. And you're saying that, hey, you are letting them live rent-free in the head. Not me. But meanwhile, the divorce papers, even today, January 25th, I think today is, they are not divorced. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, Tricia, you ain't gonna gaslight me. Yeah. You ain't gonna gaslight me. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, there's gonna be some deep dives on this episode, probably on this scene. Look out for that 3-part reunion that's supposed to come out. Carlos ain't gonna let us go. So we gonna be with Carlos to at least the end of February. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. And we see y'all this week and next week.
Bye.